back to the basics. We are here. I am your host, Mr. J. Weeks, aka 52 The Balls. Here with my man.
It's your boy J. Irv, 2 up, 2 down. You already know what it is. I'm in your town, VA all day, man.
Let's go. And of course, man, we had to make some adjustmts. Had to go grab us a first round draft pick. I had to go holler at my pocket there from the deck. My man from the Kangaroos, man. So it was good to the people, man.
Everybody, my brothers, I'm glad to be here. It's your boy B.Stokes checking in. Some folks know me as Bishop, some folks know me as Stokes. It depends on where you know me at.
Hey, is that Bishop from Juice, or you know?
Nah, man. So two things, man. Like I'm very spiritual.
Okay.
So I pray for a lot of people.
Okay.
So
you should.
When you hear the name Bishop, I'm usually praying for you. I'm dropping some wisdom or some spirituality.
Okay. Hey, let's get it, fellas. Let's
pray
get
for the
it.
people.
How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feel?
Oh man, I feel good, man. I had some big news this week. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my wife, Aubrey Irvin. She is published author now. Her first children's book just dropped called Camille in the Backhand. You can check that out on Amazon right now, man. So it's
I ordered mine, got mine. Actually should be here in the next couple of days for us. So shout out to that, man.
I'm excited. Appreciate it, man.
What's going on with you, Stokes?
Hey, man, just trying to stay out the way, man, with all this coronavirus going on.
It's crazy.
You know, for me, man, it's something that we never experienced before.
True.
And so, you know, my grandparents, my parents, it's something that no one has experienced. So we're just trying to do everything we can, man, to stay healthy. But also keep ourselves, protected through this crazy virus. Because you don't know who has it. Don't know where it's at. Don't know what's going on.
And you think, like you said, you don't even really know. You think you might just be going out to get gas or get some groceries, and you don't know who you come into contact with.
It's crazy, man, because like I've had a cough for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize I have allergies, so I couldn't figure it out. So, I'm in here coughing or trying to hold my cough. And look, they looking at me like, bro, like he got the Rona. Like, it's
over with. You really cursing when you cough.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Listen, one of the last episodes, man, I was trying to hold my breath, so I went.
Come on,
I was over here hurting for 45 minutes.
That's all.
But you definitely gotta still protect yourself, man. Make sure you are taking precautions, washing your hands.
Man, most definitely.
Yeah, especially I've been seeing a lot of people like posting on social media where they going out in public and they protected, but the kids just out there just naked, like they ain't got no gloves, no mask.
Kind of backwards, right?
Yeah, you gotta make sure they straight, man. So definitely with that, man, just make sure y'all taking care of yourself, taking all the necessary precautions. Because again, this is something that we didn't expect, we didn't really know. So make sure you are doing all the necessary steps to make sure you're protecting yourself and your family, man.
Absolutely.
Today it's a great day. We're gonna do something very new. So I got something here. So my listeners,
you'll be
able to see when you check it out on YouTube. So we all about supporting black businesses and everything. So I came in contact with a black business and they gave me some products, and I'm excited to promote it. Being someone, my wife has natural hair. You know what I'm saying? I keep my junk real natural, meaning I don't really do nothing. So, really, I think they just felt bad for me. Like, you got to get something going on with your junk.
Depending on what that is in that bag, we're about to find out.
I'm ready to see it.
All right, so I have here, it's called Sophisticated, as in soap, and then sophisticated. So it's sophisticated, and I have some hair mist first, is the first thing I got for it. So with this, you're able to kind of just put it in a spray bottle, spray it on, you spray and go. My wife having locks, she's definitely able to use that. So that's definitely dope. We also have this right here. For those who don't know and really know, like I got a real problem with ash, like in the cracks, like right here in the crack of my hands, right? So to the point, like my people would be like, "Yo, do you use lotion?" And I don't really use lotion.
You was a brick mason, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Nah. And you saying I used to use like baby oil, right? But you can't really find it like that. So I try to use lotion. It don't really work.
You can't use baby oil, bro.
No, I use baby oil.
Crisco.
Yeah. Because you walk around looking like a Jordan Patton. Let me walk around here.
No, but look. So I've been using this for like 4 or 5 days now, and
you know what? There's no, ladies and gentlemen, there's no ash.
Hey, man, he's glowing, y'all. He's glowing.
So definitely sophisticated on there. And then lastly, they have the hair butter here. So a lot of times, with natural hair, you got to make sure it stays moisturized. Make sure you got some type of conditioner or anything on it for it. A lot of times, women with this natural hair, that's kind of the wave right now.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, we got all the different products. And of course, we're going to drop their link to their Facebook page where they could be reached at. So don't worry about that. So for the people that's listening, again, it's called Sophisticated. We will make sure we drop it on the YouTube when it drops. So it's definitely dope.
Now, have you used the hair?
Yes.
You've used it.
So I've used it. So here I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm boys. I don't do nothing to my hair in the morning. Like I literally just go like this and go. Like once I
shake and roll.
That's it. Like I don't do nothing at all.
Okay.
So I truly live the natural.
That's it.
So with this though, I've literally been using it, and I noticed throughout the day that my hair still has some moisture to it.
Okay.
It's not brittle like a Brillo pad.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. So it's definitely it definitely works, and you can see like for the people that's like it's halfway gone already.
Man,
like,
I see
this
that.
is 4 or 5 days. So, and my son also he has like curly hair too,
Yeah.
so I'm able to use it. My wife having locks, so we use it.
That's cool.
So we definitely want to shout out Sophisticated.
Okay.
So we're gonna drop all the info. So make sure y'all catch the YouTube part of it. So yeah, man. So if you got a black business, you got some products.
Please do.
Definitely those people who got T-shirts, the shirt line, clothing line. Holler at your boy. Send me some merch. I will
Absolutely.
rock it. Like
So see us on here with it.
hey, we with it. So definitely shout out to Sophisticated. And again, I told y'all that today was going to be a special episode. So a lot of people feel like when they see, us on social media and stuff, that we just kind of just there. We don't really be interacting with the people. We for the people. So when we say we the people's podcast, we're the people's
We
podcast.
are the people's podcast. Absolutely.
So we actually going to have a special episode for y'all today. But of course, we can't start any show without first, we got to educate the people. And we're going to look to my new partner there, my man B.Stokes, a.k.a. I call him Brother Knowledge.
Brother Knowledge.
So Brother Knowledge.
Knowledge bomb. What the science, baby?
Yes, sir.
What you got for us today, man?
Man, so as of March 27th, we lost a great civil rights leader,
Okay.
Brother Joseph E. Lowry.
Okay.
Brother Lowry was actually 88 years old, man.
Mm-hmm.
So he has made a lot of great change in the Atlanta area for African American people.
Right.
But nationally, he's made
Mm-hmm.
a big impact for African American people. So I have a few facts, man, that I want to kind of run down, give you some insight on Brother Lowry, and for those people out there that may not know, I have them for you. So check them out. Brother Lowry is referred to as the Dean of the Civil Rights Movement.
Okay. Wow, that's big.
Lowry served as the SCLC president from 1977 to 1997, 30 years.
Sounds dope.
That's a long time.
Long
No,
journey.
my bad. My math is off. 20. But he was also born in Huntsville, Alabama
Okay.
on October 6, 1924. According to the most reliable sources, he was a father to Dora and Leroy Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter was a teacher, and his son was a small businessman.
Okay.
Experiences throughout his childhood included confrontations with abusive police officers, the Ku Klux Klan, and prejudiced neighbors.
That's dope.
He graduated from high school in 1939 and was educated at several colleges, including Knoxville College in Tennessee, Wayne State University in Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
Payne College, and
That's all right.
Mhm. and Theology Seminary in Ohio, and the Chicago Institute. Ordained as a minister after he graduated from seminary and received his first assignment in Mobile, he started that from 1952 to 1961. He was the pastor of Warren Street United Methodist Church in Mobile. That's one of the oldest churches in Mobile.
Right.
Okay.
So that if you ever get a chance to go to Mobile, check Warren Street out.
Yeah, that's right up the street from the crib, from
Mhm.
Pensacola.
Okay.
He was a member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Okay.
He recruited new members to the SELC from the Atlanta area, predominantly out of the hub near Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Okay.
So of course his ties to Brother Martin Luther King was very tight, very connected. He headed the Alabama Civic Affairs Association, an organization devoted to the desegregation of buses and public places. So if you know someone from that time, your grandparents or anybody that lived in Alabama, they played a part in it.
Okay. Right.
And so also he received several honorary doctorates from colleges and universities, including Dillard University, Morehouse College, Alabama State University, University of Alabama in Huntsville, and also Emory University. So rest in power, Dr. Joseph E. Lowry.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for everything you've done. So if you're riding down the highway in Atlanta, you see Joseph E. Lowry, you know what we're talking about.
Right. That's good stuff, man, because I never knew who that cat was.
Yeah,
Never knew. That's good
So
stuff.
let me ask you this, Stokes. You being, from the Atlanta area for how does that really play the factor on you? Because it's so integral about, how he played the movement, civil rights.
Most definitely, man. So where my family is from, they're from the Summer Hill area. So not too far from the Auburn Avenue, all of that on that side.
Gotcha.
So when you look at it, man, the impact that he's had, every time I go down Auburn Avenue, I see Ebenezer Baptist Church. I see the different monuments. You see the farmers market, which was once full of black vendors.
Right.
You see the Prince Hall, lodge there.
Okay.
You think about the different people that stayed on Auburn Avenue and how prolific Auburn Avenue was.
True.
And know that he had an impact on that.
That's dope.
It's
dope,
amazing.
yeah.
So if you ever get a chance, man, if you look at Atlanta from the 1960s and during the civil rights movement, they played
He was a big part.
phenomenal part. But as a dean, think about it. It got to go through him.
Yeah.
So
Another move doesn't go through him.
he
Yeah,
played the
absolutely.
part.
So shout out to that, brother.
That's
It's a lot of things that we you don't really hear about, and to have someone to be able to speak from it from a point where you have like a family, grandparents, and different things for it, it's definitely dope. Yeah. So shout out to that knowledge report today.
That's dope stuff, brother.
And we always keep our ear to the street. We gotta listen to my man Jay Irvin give us that word on the street.
4, 3, 2.
Definitely been buzzing recently. But
What we got, man?
so today I want to highlight this young fella, 7-year-old boy. He's making coronavirus care packages for seniors.
7?
He's 7, all right? 7 years old. So this out of Gaithersburg, Maryland. Kavanaugh Bell, a 7-year-old boy from Maryland, is getting national attention for giving senior citizens a COVID-19 care packs that he bought with his own savings account, right?
Oh, and he trying himself too.
Yeah, Bell, who had saved up $600 over the past few years, decided to make 65 care packages and purchase 31 hot meals for senior citizens.
Wow.
He personally bought the food and bottle of bleach that he handed out to the seniors, right? Don't forget our senior citizens. They need to eat too, Bell said in a video that was posted on social media. At the same time, by buying the hot meals from local restaurants, he was able to support businesses that were affected by the shutdown implemented by the government. You know what I'm saying? So he still keep it in the family, man. So then more on that, he was also he happened to be a victim of bullying. Okay, Bell also started a nonprofit called Cool and Dope with the goal to eradicate all bullying and youth suicide through political and social action by his 18th birthday on November 20th, 2030.
Wow.
So my man is 7 years old, man. So Mr. Bell, you're doing great things out there, and most importantly, thinking about the senior citizen and the elderly community. So
because I think a lot of times with the new generation, we kind of want to forget the ones who paved the way.
Right.
Literally, if it wasn't for our grandparents and their grandparents, we wouldn't be able to have this show now. Even taking it back to your man Joe D. Lowry, for us to be 3 young black men being able to have a show and voice and have a platform to speak about different things to highlight, that's all dope.
Dope stuff. But you gotta think now, like the average grandparent, grandmother, grandfather, what you about 40?
Yeah, man, change.
You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. But and there's not a lot of big mamas, around,
Give me that wisdom.
or popular. You know what I'm saying?
But I always say, man, you gotta be able to willing to share that information.
Correct.
Sometimes we try to take that information like, well, my parents did this. I'm gonna just get that out the way.
Yeah.
But it's imperative to kind of go back to those morals, those standards, those values, those things that gave you the foundation.
Right.
Roots, man.
Yeah.
It goes back to
Look, roots, and that's how Black to the Basics came about.
Yes,
Get to the core of it.
That's it.
So shout out to that young brother.
Absolutely.
So man, today is special. Today we are calling this one Single and Ready to Mingle. So I know everybody's like, hold on, babe. 2 of y'all married out here? That's single and ready to mingle.
I got my championship, so
I'm working on mine.
So man, we actually were sent a message via social media from a young lady. And I'm gonna read this letter, and we gonna kind of dive into it. So again, I said earlier, a lot of times people don't feel like it's really us in the comments. Like we out here, we really out here.
We out here in the comments and in the street.
So we received the email, and I'm just going to read it, and we're going to kind of just break it right down and dive right into it.
Okay, let's hear it.
So the letter says, Dear Back to the Basics podcast, I am a single female that has been single for a long time. Reason being is there aren't any good dudes out here. Like, I'm tired of the F-boys, lames, or the lames that just want to waste your time. If it's not that, then it's a bunch of baby mama drama or guys that are afraid of the title. My question is, why are men so afraid to commit? Like, help a sister out because it's real out here. So, again, single and ready to mingle. Why are fellas so afraid to commit? So, my very first question is like, I'm gonna start off my man B.Stokes. Like, do you think that fellas are afraid to commit? And if so, like, why? What are your thoughts on that?
Ooh, so, man, sister, we hear you. Thank you for writing.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So first, man, being afraid to commit, I think that's it's all about maturity and timing, man.
Break it down.
Perfect. So you don't know what you're ready for until it's presented to you. And until you're prepared to actually act on your gifts of where you are.
Okay.
So if you are given a gift, you say, for instance, someone gives you a car at 5 years old. You can't drive that car.
No, you're not ready
You
for
can't do anything with that car. You're not ready for it.
Not ready for it, right.
So I think about the men that our sister may have been dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
She might not be dealing with men that are ready for her in that full equipped vehicle of herself and her mind and her spirit to be able to do anything with it.
Okay. I like it. What about you, Jay Herbert?
Yeah, I feel like, most men sometimes are afraid to commit, but I want to give you some facts, because I know people are quick to bash men like all men are lumped in the same category.
True.
But I'm going to bring some light to the situation, some things that sometimes people don't think about. So for one, your partner may have been hurt in the past. Now for me, okay, I've dealt with number one. Okay, we'll get into that later.
I think you can't be a man until you experience
And any man that tells you they've never been hurt before, they lying. They lying. Okay.
Run.
Get away from that. He lying.
First and foremost, he lying.
Right.
Right on the jump, he just lied to me. Number two, your partner may have just gotten out of a serious relationship. Okay. Your partner's afraid to let you down, like they don't measure up to you as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Your partner sometimes cannot be sure how he or she feels towards you. And lastly, your partner still wants to play the field. Like, I'm going to string you along while I'm still doing X, Y, and Z, because I know you're going to still be here right now. So just, ladies, that's just some of the things. Yeah,
so let me ask you this. So out of the list that you just read, what do you think is probably the most common one out of all the different ones?
I'm going to say playing the field. I'm going to say playing the field. Now, and that's because we're talking about men as a whole.
As a whole, I got you.
What sometimes females don't really understand is that, a man can be with a woman that he loves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he can still go out and be with 5 or 6 different women because, we kind of, we're wired a little differently. We don't really think or go off of emotion initially.
Right.
But we always have that one, like, hey, this is the one I feel like, she could be it. You know what I mean? So Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it.
Okay, so let me give you my thoughts when it comes to fellas, the commitment. Here's the thing that I realize: men aren't as vocal about what they want. So think about this. Think about, and it may be a little bit longer for you being married, but think about when you were first dating someone, right? It's not often that a man will say, I'm looking for X, Y, Z, I want to have this, this, and this, right? We kind of just go with the flow. You can't probably think of 5 times where you've literally said, you know what, I told her I want this, I want this, I want this. We just kind of, you look a certain way, you speak a certain thing, let's rock.
Right.
And women are more like, I'm expecting someone not going to waste my time. I want somebody who's going to be focused on goals, that's going to be looking to spend time. Like, women are very to the point, like, this is what I'm looking for.
Right.
We don't do that. So think about that. If you've never voiced to a young lady about the things that you wanted in a relationship, and then you got into it, are you not settling, or just kind of just, I'm going with the flow? Because you never expressed what you were looking for. You just said, hey, you got something I like, and let's rock. Let's take this ride. Whereas a woman is going to tell you, no, this is what I'm expecting. Like, you got to make that decision. Like, what are you going to do? So if you're not doing that, being vocal to say, hey, I'm looking for someone. Because think about it. We have goals, we have dreams, we have vision, but we don't share that enough to say, hey, I'm looking for someone who's going to be about their business. I'm looking for someone who's career-oriented. Because you have people that's not career-oriented in the sense of they just want to, hey, I'm just going to work forever and just be cool.
Right.
And they cool with it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Because we've all worked with people just like, no matter what's going on at work, they just like, I'm working.
They good. They just doing their job.
And you trying to like, no, but they doing us wrong. They like,
elevate yourself.
Hey, no, I'm here to get my check. I can't really speak. Like, I'm cool with this.
Yeah.
And you trying to preach them like, no, but we can be making this money. No, hey, I get my check, I'm straight. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like we don't do that.
Society has kind of created that narrative.
Okay.
So while we don't voice our opinion, because here's the thing, right? Women, like you said, they have a standard. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's like, hey, I want X, Y, and Z, we kind of looked at like, oh, he tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like just
no. I feel like, because it's not common.
It's not common. So the female normally, the women normally have, well, I want a man that does this, that. Men are just simple, to be honest with you. But
so to also make a stand, if you're not used to something,
yeah, you just like
it's just what it is. So when you are stepping into a quote unquote relationship,
right?
If that's never been anything that you've been told that you have to do,
you're not gonna do it.
You're not gonna do it
because
it's not that.
Yeah.
So when you look at commitment and men being afraid to commit, they just are afraid of sometimes. And I can speak from my personal experience. I was afraid to just do something I've never done before.
And look, don't get yourself in trouble.
Nah. That's funny. That's how.
But it's something new. So
it's something new, and change is scary.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
And so a lot of times people are afraid to change. And so when you have to make that jump or that leap or that step, it's kind of like, whoa, hold on, let me tiptoe on.
Hey, look, that's great that he brought that up, right? I got something to tie into what he just brought up. So here we go. The fear of not measuring up. Okay, as far as towards like, hey, if your female is at a certain point in her life, right? A man, sometimes if you're not equal or you feel not equal, you're like, you know what? She's never going to accept me anyway, so I'm gonna just do whatever I got to do. You know what I'm saying? The fear of being controlled. You know what I'm saying? Fellas sometimes think once you get in a relationship,
right?
You got to put your ego to the side and sometimes get out of your own way, man. So just touching on kind of like some of the fears, whatever. You know what I mean? So it's out there.
And let's take it up a little bit. Are women being too pushy when it comes to titles? What would you say, Stokes?
So I wouldn't say that they're being too pushy. I think that, as you said before, they vocal. Right. Women will express themselves.
Yes.
And their emotions, and they feel a little bit more differently than men do.
Right.
They take on everything, and I mean, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, a woman feels that.
Yeah.
And most men have built up some type of shell or some type of covering around them to where they cannot feel anything. They're emotionless.
If you are, you're looked at as being
soft. Now that starts from childhood up.
Correct.
hey, you got hit on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
Suck it up.
Shake it off.
Yeah,
Oh,
you good.
I say that all the time. Like, if you got a daughter and a son, if your daughter falls, oh, come here, baby girl. You kissing it.
Oh man.
Your son fall, he can fall and crack his head to the white meat. I'm like, boy, if you don't get up, you all right.
Put some rubber tussle on.
Those are things that we have to change to be ready for our women to receive them in a better way.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. And keeping it going. Let's take a trip down memory lane a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being somebody that's married.
Yeah.
Take us back. Do you remember when you were single?
Yeah, I do.
Not a setup question.
Yeah. Look, sometimes I gotta be. Look.
Like, you know something like that?
Right.
I gotta make sure because you know how you do. But yeah, absolutely, I remember.
So, how was that for you as far as being single? Were you someone that was kind of like, I know I'm trying to be in a relationship? You were kind of just chilling before you got to the point where you were married?
So for me, I was in a relationship, and the relationship didn't end well. Like, I mean, it was a real bad situation, right? So I told myself that after that hey, because I know what I bring to the table as far as like dealing with a female, you know, or dealing with a woman, I should say. There's a difference between a female and a woman. Okay? So I went through a phase in my life where like I didn't care about anything as far as like being committed. Okay. Like, you know, I had multiple, you know, situations going. They were all different. Like each one was something different, right? So when I got tired of doing that, I'm like, you know what, it's time for me to like, I'm just gonna chill. I'm not looking for love. If it comes my way, I'll find it. And then lo and behold, this little country girl from Brunswick, Georgia, will be the one to sweep you off your feet. So to speak. Yes, absolutely. So that was a great transition, I guess, for me.
That's dope, man.
It's different though, but yeah.
What about you, Stokes?
Yeah, man. I do remember being single, and I do remember playing the field, as they would say. But you know, that was very demanding.
Yeah,
I can
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work dealing with 3 and 4. You can deal with 1.
Right, true.
So for me, man, I just had a moment of realization, and when I had it, I was like, whoa, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm tired. I'm tired of this, but I'm also creating toxic relationships, not just with myself, but with these women.
Okay.
And the other relationships that they'll probably step into.
Yeah.
So I had to step out of myself and get out of my own way.
Correct.
And so I was like, okay, just want to do one thing.
Yeah.
Now it was hard, but I had to do it.
Right.
It's a beautiful feeling when you get to that point, man. Like,
It is.
It's different.
And for me, mine was opposite though. So I was somebody that was looking to be in a relationship. Because for me, it was safer for me to be in a relationship because I knew if I was single, it was all bets off. Like, I'm going to do whatever, and everybody going to tell me what I'm going to do. I'm going to ride. Like, so I was looking to, like, let me find someone to be committed to so I can know I ain't going to be out here moving how I need to move. But the difference in, like, for me being married now, when I met my wife, again, I'm used to someone being the entertainer I am. I'm used to getting the attention, people laughing, smiling. My wife was the exact opposite. When I met my wife had been single for 3 years. So you got to realize, if you had 3 years to yourself, you know everything about you. You take yourself on dates. You know how to do everything alone. You straight.
Yeah.
So I'm coming up as someone who's used to getting attention and love, trying to play the same drinks. I'm trying to hit, hey man, I miss you. How? You didn't see me yesterday.
Right.
So and this is how I look at it. So this is when I came up with this thing. There's always 3 doors when it comes to relationship, right? You got your first door. Your first door is just, look, I'm just going to be honest with you. Like, this is the real.
Straight to the point.
This is who I am. If this aligns with what you're looking for,
we sure.
Cool, we good, right?
Got it.
Then your number 2 is like, look, I see what you got. I want that, but I'm going to try to finesse you a little bit. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear for as long as I can ride this wave. You know what I'm saying? And then your door number 3 is like, look, you a little bit too much. I'm just going back out. And I feel like at some point, we've all faced that point. Like, you got these doors. Now, what you going to do?
Yeah. And
I was faced with that with my wife. Like, I could go ahead and try to finesse the way. It probably wouldn't have got me very far at all. Because my wife had been single for so long. She got 3 older brothers. She knew game.
She knew what was going on.
So I really had to be like, okay, at this point, I was limited to 2. Either I'm going to walk away or I'm going to be 100 and then see if that aligns with what she wants. I chose to be 100. Now here we are going on 10 years together. 8 years married for it. So it's definitely
veteran in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely great. But again, I had to realize like it's going to take you to decide on what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't want it. They trying to choose more than one door.
you get stretched real thin when you're trying to reach for the multiple doors.
It is, man.
You know, you only got 2 hands. You can't get that third.
Well, that's a lot of work. I don't see how brothers do it now. Like it's a lot of, because here's the thing, you have to
keep up different jumps.
Yeah, have to keep up different. You know, you got.
I just hated I couldn't do the line jump. Like I'm the worst liar ever.
Yeah.
Like I would just be like, why you answering your phone? The elephant ate. I don't know. Like whatever. I couldn't do it. So I had to be
crazy
real.
about that, man. So that like we weren't realizing what we were doing to the women we were dealing with at the time, because then you get a situation where now all men are different. But at that time and space in our lives, we weren't ready. That was it.
Yeah.
We weren't ready. Right.
And I feel like it was imperative for me to run into someone that was opposite. Because again, I'm used to getting all the attention. Yeah. I'm used to sending the text like, I miss you. Oh, I miss you too. Dog, when I sent my wife that text the first time we were on a date, like, I miss you, and my wife sent me back, how? I just seen you last night.
She was hip to you already.
Cold-blooded. So I knew, like, okay, this is going to be a whole nother journey.
It's a different challenge.
It's a different taste, man.
It's different, but you got to understand where you are. Yes. You know, where you are with yourself and what you're going to be willing to do. Because, again, you might run into somebody that's on to your game and it's like, dang, so what you going to do? Because it ain't going to work. And let's continue with that. So do you feel like, I know you said your situation, you wasn't looking for something. So were you someone that was kind of avoiding the commitment or the title per se?
No, I just was
like
just the situation, just everything I had dealt with and been with before. I'm like, you know what? I know what I want now. So when I see it coming, then I know to jump on that. But the thing about it was, this was like a Mike Tyson right hook. Like I was not even. Like, bro, and I tell you, like, listen, man, me and my wife were cool. Like, I mean, like, we would go out and to the restaurants and just drink as, like, friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, when I tell you, like, it literally came out of left field, I'm like, wow, it was different. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is, it was a challenge, but she made me kind of work. Right. I'm not saying she made me work, which is, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, this was different. So, yeah, and here we are.
And what about you with your lady? So how long you and your lady been together?
Man, we coming up on 4 years now.
Shout out to your lady right there.
Man, hey, I want to shout out to Juice. Hey. Juice. I want to just thank you for uplifting me and making me raise my standard of being a man, but more importantly, just of finding my peace. So I thank you for that.
So how was it for you when it comes to like the commitment piece? Were you, when it came to you and lady making that move, was it you like, hey, I know what I want? Was it more of like, yo, this is just so dope? Like, how was it?
Man, so you just took the words out of my mouth, right? So it was just on some, this is dope. This is a vibe I've never felt before. And it was pure and genuine. So anything pure, you are going to want more of it because it's good for you. Right. It has no extra additives, no additional anything. It's pure. It's natural.
Right.
And when I felt that that was something that my body needed, my mind needed, my spirit needed.
Yeah.
And so, as we continue to grow together, man, I definitely yearn for that more and more.
Yeah.
As much as I have her in my life. So I'm thankful for it, but I'm thankful for that feeling more
that
than
peace.
anything.
Yeah, that peace is
you can't get that back.
That's
you can't get that back. Once it's done, you can't get it.
Yeah, that's powerful.
The older you get, that peace comes in important.
Peace is powerful, bro.
That peace of mind, just to clear your head, that's definitely dope. So, we spoke a little bit about, our experiences and, you gave us some facts or some reasons why. So what can we do as fellas, not per se us, because we all got our situations, but what can men do to kind of reassure women when they feel like we just don't want to commit? Like, what do you think that, you suggest?
So before I touch on that, so women, to help you out, right, you got to ask questions. Okay?
Break that down. What you say?
Most women don't ask the right questions when they first start dating. So, like, when you meet a guy and it's 2-3 months in, and you're like, well, what are we? Why aren't we committed or whatever? Right. If you ask a man in the beginning, what are you looking for in a relationship, he has an opportunity to tell you.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? So you would know then if that. So man, you know, I'm just looking for somebody to rock with, blah blah blah. So then you kind of know how to adjust yourself to don't put yourself out there to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Women in the beginning, and I'm not attacking ladies. I'm just trying to put y'all on some game. Fellas, don't be mad at me. Look, I'm not no Steve Harvey, but women.
Don't talk about Steve.
No. I just my views on that whole.
I got
you. He the Tekashi 6ix9ine. No. But here's the thing. So women, you give up too much information in the beginning. You have to make a man work for to learn about you. If you tell me, oh, my last man did this, he did that, and I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna do everything that he didn't do. Right. That way,
because you already told me, you gave me the blueprint.
You gave me the blueprint. So if that's all I wanted from you, once I get that, now it's okay, cool. Yeah.
No, I agree. And along with that, speak up, like you said, and just don't waste people's time. Yeah. I feel like women, when you start to figure out how to question your things and change the things you believe in, like, I really don't normally do this, and you making all these accommodations, don't make it easy. Mm-hmm. Set that standard. And that was a key factor for me and my wife. Like, she was like, this is my standard. You either going to get to the standard or it's not. And there was nothing wrong with that because, again, I had the opportunity to say, I'm good. I ain't getting the no standard. I'm straight. Now, that doesn't mean you want to say, I want somebody to drive a Maserati. They got to make $250. And it's okay if you want that, but just keep in mind you're limiting your pool because those type of people are not just going to be your everyday people in Kroger. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to wait a little bit longer, look a little bit harder. But just be real about what you want and don't waste people's time. If you been in a situation and you know it's not going nowhere, y'all on this week, off that week, like if you got to ask people like, yo, what do you think about this? I'm like, if you start to ask your friends, like, yo, what's up? Or, you see everybody else progressing and you not. And I think that's the bigger thing in relationships, that you have to understand at some point, if you're at the same point that you've been at from day one, something wrong. It's like, is that really helping you? Yeah. Or you just kind of hey, I'm just going to ride this wave until it get off. So how do you feel like, what can we reassure them with, though?
I think we can assure them with security, man. I think that security in the aspect of letting them know that they're safe mentally. They can be in a place where they can be emotionally safe. To be themselves emotionally without any hesitation. Be them.
So touch on that emotional piece, man.
Yeah, man. So I think for me, one of the things I had to learn about my lady was that she feels and that she expresses herself differently than I would. Right. And so, when I was to do something wrong or I was to do something that upset her, she may cry. She may be upset because she's not going to lash out on you or not say anything. But I had to receive that. Like, okay, that's your way of communication, sweetheart.
Got you. Okay.
That's your love language. You're expressing yourself to me. And so when that happened, at first I didn't understand it. Right. But I had to take the time to learn that love language. That being able to communicate through feelings and through emotions and say, okay, baby, I love you. Be safe. Communicate. Through that, you're safe. And so now it's nothing. She can communicate effectively with me and vice versa. And I find myself now crying, being safe, finding my safe space too. Right. But I think that we have to work through our pains and our problems because everyone has experienced some type of trauma.
Absolutely. Yeah, in some way, shape, or form.
And recognize that to say, hey, you're safe with me and I'm safe with you. Correct. And if you're in a relationship, that's what you're there for. Be able to hold each other and keep each other accountable. Right. To say, okay, lean on me and I'm going to lean on you, but we're going to grow together.
So effective communication.
Effective communication, man.
Yeah. So not just yelling at somebody.
Right. Ladies, please. Men as well.
No, you definitely have to understand. And I know one of the things that helped me and my wife is when we first got married. So growing up, my wife, for those who don't know, is West Indian. Grew up in a West Indian culture. They have things a little bit different. For sure. But one of the things that her dad implemented with her and her siblings is they would have moments called no vex. So that was the time where you can say this was a no vex moment where I can they got to express to their dad, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Regardless of what I say, you can't get upset. I can't be punished for this, but this is my time to just be 100% honest. Wow. So me and my wife implemented that in our relationship. When we first started dating, like, okay, this is a no vex moment. it's a moment we can just freely express how we feel. And don't get me wrong, sometimes some of the conversations were a little bit hard, they were a little bit tough. Mm-hmm. But through that, now I can talk to my wife about whatever. Wow. And I'm someone I don't talk about anything. Like, I was someone grew up out of anger, just internalize everything. Mm-hmm. So being able to talk to my wife about any situation is like, it was big for me. But had she not implemented, say, hey, well, let's just have this where you can say whatever, and I'm good. We'll go from there.
A different route.
Right, but it allowed me to feel, like you said, it allowed me to feel, okay, I have my safe space where I can talk about the traumas I had to go through, some of the things I've experienced, and it opened up a whole nother world. And I used to always think, like, why people keep saying communication? Because most times you think communication means just talking to somebody. Right? No. But being effective, like, what am I getting out of this? How is it moving our relationship? What am I learning from this? Because it's a difference of just yelling at somebody or just talking for the sake of talking. But what did you gain from what I'm saying? Yeah. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to what I'm saying just to respond? Or are you listening to try to get some information? Okay, let me see what I can use. And I think that is key. So when you said that, that definitely hit home for me.
Absolutely. And I was going to just say, just from him not being a married standpoint, right? Yeah. You're already ahead of the game. Like the stuff that you and your lady are practicing now, that's key because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know, do you and your lady live together?
No, we don't.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? When you don't have that foundation before you move in with somebody, right, it's different because now you get an argument or it's a misunderstanding. Right. I can't go to my apartment. You can't go to your apartment. Like, I got to wake up and I got to see you. You know what I mean? So the communication thing is definitely important. And like for me, you know, I learn every day. I'm an observant, but I had to learn about my wife. Like I had to learn the things that made her tick, or not necessarily tick, just brought her back to a different situation. Right. Had I not been, you know, in my way, like, man, she just mad for no reason. And that, you know what I'm saying? Didn't take the time. Right. You know, that's, you know, communication, once again, is key. You have to, you know, fellas, you got to learn your lady, man. Like she could be having a bad day because, you know, she may not feel secure. Like, you know, the outside world society makes, it's a lot of pressure put on women. You know, think about it. When we leave the house, you know, we get dressed, brush our hair, so that's it. Women, you got, you know, you put on, you know, nails, your hair, your outfit, everything that they make y'all have to be.
Even like with your wife, just having a baby that's like, oh, well, she's this. It's like so much that they just have to go through on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
that they didn't even, like, I just thought I was going to wake up. And they just constantly being in judgment and just so much pressure being put on them. So we got to understand, like, sometimes it ain't all directed towards us per se.
A bunch of different things. Yeah.
But if you're not willing to say, you know, let's sit down. Let's talk about it.
But to also add to that, seek to understand.
Yeah.
And when you're doing that in your relationship, I think or whatever relationship you have, whether it's your fiance, husband, wife, whatever, work, brother, sister, seek to understand first. And when you do that, I think that eliminates everything else. Because, like you said, that is the time for the no facts. Hey, we're going to share because this is how I feel. Right. This is why I feel that way. And if you are able to receive that, I think that will truly change the tone of the relationship. So, I mean, seek to understand first in anything.
Ladies, ask the questions, ladies. Please. And also, too, not only just asking questions when you're dealing with somebody new, don't be afraid of the answer. Always look for the truth, because if you're not ready to hear the truth answer, don't ask the question.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. So we talked about a lot of good things, but we always want to make sure we leave it on a positive note. So what advice can we leave, you know, particularly to the young lady that wrote the letter? What advice can we give to her and any other woman just seeking to have that peace that they're missing for? What advice would you say?
I'm gonna let brother Knowledge go first, only because listen, I'm listening to him, man. He got a lot. He dropping some jewels over there. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be the fan right now. I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, sisters, I want you to know that you are great. Yes. That you are more than enough. Yep. And we thank you for getting up every day and doing the things that you do for us as black men, for your children, for your families. I think that is emotional. That is enough. Emotionally, spiritually, physically, you carry a heavy load. But know that you are enough. That when the time comes for a man to come to you, he's going to be who he needs to be for you, and who God has him for you. You know, you can't make a man, build a man, do any of that. God has to do that.
Absolutely.
And you have to allow him to be ready to receive that man as well. So we just want to say thank you, first and foremost, to know internally that you are more than enough. But when God provides that man for you, be ready to receive him.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
And look, I told you. Didn't I tell you?
That's dope, man. I would definitely say for me, the bigger thing that I always think when it comes to anybody, and particularly women in this situation, never ever dim your light for someone else to shine.
Right.
And a lot of times, like you said, women have to experience so much more things than a man does, particularly black women. There's a stigma already on you. Then you have the world, society, stealing everything from you, but giving you no credit, you know, and giving it to everyone else. And think about it. Sometimes women give us way too much credit. We just simple creatures. Like, don't be overthinking things and think like you are, as my man, Brother Nala said, you are enough by yourself. And if someone's not willing to come to that standard, then don't dim yourself down to make sure they can come to that. Know your worth. Definitely know your worth. And again, get back to the standard is key. This is your standard. Anybody that's trying to deal with you should be able to come to that. And lastly, understand the people that you attract. So even to this young lady that wrote the letter, if you keep attracting the same thing, maybe you need to adjust something and realize that what you do. And that goes to also the people that's on your favorite thing, social media. When you out there and you seeking, you know, you out there doing whatever, this goes to fellas as well. Just be aware of the people you're attracting because, again, you're doing this, but are you ready to receive the type of attention that you want to do? So definitely understand that you are enough and don't ever dim your life for nobody. That's on my heart. Keep shining. What you got, man?
I'm going to leave the ladies with, hey, set your price. Not like figure to set your price, but you know what I'm saying.
But we a man, you gotta be
you gotta be careful. $40. So women, set your standard and don't accept anything less than that. Society will put it out there where, like, if you are 30-some odd years old or 20-some odd years old, if you're not married, you don't have no kids right now, you're not doing well off. No, stop. Don't listen to that. Set your expectations and don't accept anything less than that. And if a man is not willing to work for you and work for what you want, cut him loose.
So what is that? I said, cut him loose. You got the fellas like, dang, I was just starting.
No, but cut off. Yeah, right. But you know, you got to be ready, ladies, for the truth and accept it. And once you know that about yourself, then you know you're not going to accept anything less than that.
So that's what's dope, man. So yeah, appreciate y'all fellas for that one. And now the time has come for my absolute favorite part of the show. Tell us why you mad. So,
I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. I'm gonna tell you why.
So we're gonna lean to my partner there, my Decatur from the deck, my partner then, Brother Knowledge, aka B.Stokes. Tell us why you mad, son.
Man, so with everything going on with this coronavirus, I am truly upset with Governor Deal. Now, the reason why I say that, I don't want nobody in my house tonight, but I do want to say this because Governor Deal, I'm not sure if you are in tune with the African American culture, but barbers and hairstylists, they are essential employees.
Absolutely.
We need those people to be at work.
Absolutely.
Your nail technicians, we need them at work.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everyone in that field, we need them at work.
Absolutely.
If you see my face, I had a beard before this, but I tried to cut my face and I just had to shave it.
Did he have a beard? That's what's different.
So Governor Deal, hear me, please, and everyone else out there that's listening to this podcast, I'm sure you feel my pain.
No, I feel you 100%. I'm going to be wearing a hat for at least the next barber to try to figure out my situation. So.
Man, my barber sent me that text, and he was like, yo, we're going to be shut down till like the end of April. I said, yo, cut my hair down as low as you can without me going bald to hook me up.
So I know I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no, trust me. Listen, barbers, they are essential people.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's a great time.
Me and my son are both looking crazy. He just looked at me like, I want to get a haircut. I was like, I'm not even gonna get to the point where I can even try to even.
But you know what though? Hey, listen, if you ever wanted to learn how to cut your son hair, this would be the time. Because if you mess his line up right now, time. The schools and him going to school, you see what I'm saying? Go ahead and get your barber and joint on.
But think about it too, though. And just to bring it back, it's also big for us to be able to go to that barbershop and get that escape.
Outlet.
Yeah. Go to that hair salon and get our escape. Go to get our nails done. That's a time of bonding.
Oh, and what people don't realize, the barber, your nail techs, your people, like these barbers definitely for the fellas.
There's so much more than a barber.
You're more than a barber. Like your barber is your financial advisor. They your spiritual counselor. Whenever you got a business going on, they're gonna be the first person to support you.
Put the word out.
Most of the things you really learn is at the barbershop. They know your family. They can be like, hey, how your grandma doing? How this person doing? Yeah. And we don't realize, how important they are. It's things like this. Mm-hmm. Not only with just barber, just think about the essential things. Mm-hmm. Going to work, going to the grocery store, getting gas, all those things. I feel like this is a great time for us really to reflect on that.
Absolutely.
Because think about all the things that we just take for granted. We just expect they're going to be here. Yeah. I know for me, I was always like, whatever. Because you see things going on in other parts of the world. And I always bring it back. Uncle Shay, Shannon Sharp, Uncle Shay said it. He said, when things don't really hit home to you per se, we as Americans just like, shh.
Absolutely.
And then think about from this point, you're being a social media guy. We see so much bad things happen on social media. We are so desensitized, like, nothing. Like, it could be, we could watch somebody get murdered the next day, and we're like, okay, no big deal. Because we're so prone to seeing that on a regular basis that it's like, nothing new about that.
I also, too, want to touch on what Brother Knowledge, B.Stokes has said as far as the essential workers.
Yeah.
So listen, if you know somebody in the healthcare industry, and not even the healthcare industry, right? I'm talking about like, janitors, any people, your trash men, or ladies for that matter. Anybody that's on the front lines right now during this time, if you know them, just say, hey, we appreciate you. Because at the end of the day, it's not going to be your government officials, your lawmakers, that's what's saving the people. The people that are actually on the front lines are risking their lives every single day where you may not think it's, your CNA.
And they got families.
Listen, we thank you. Can't thank you enough for doing these troublesome times, man. So that's a great why you mad, dog. Like you gotta open your eyes and appreciate all people, man. You have to.
Definitely. And now you getting to see that the people that we thought was essential ain't really essential, and people just gotta work and thinking that our employers care about us when really they don't worry about their bottom line.
Right. All about the dollar.
Remember that. All about the money.
So we definitely appreciate y'all checking us out and tuning in. We definitely catch y'all next week. Y'all see you back in space.